Okay, so this afternoon I am joined by Melanie Radford of Legal Services in Spain. Hi, Mel.
Hi, Ali.
Hi, and today we're talking about the updates to the amounts required for the Golden Visa and the Non-Lucrative Visa. Melanie, why have they been updated?
Well, every year, every January, alongside the Spanish budget, they review the financial resource requirements for Spanish residency as a whole. Okay, now the way that they actually define the increase to the actual residency is through an index. Okay, it's called an IPREM index, and it's a calculator used for, say, granting allowances, an employment benefit, any type of housing or income. And they also apply this index to financial resources required for residency applications to support themselves whilst they're living in Spain. So the index increased in January by 2.5%. Last year it was 5%. Wow. So it's half. But it ultimately means for any Spanish residency application that the financial resource requirements are 2.5% higher. I mean, those financial resource requirements are a guideline anyway. But in particular, if we're looking at the non-lucrative visa and the golden visa, it means that the amount has jumped to just under 28,000 for a main applicant applying for either one of those visas. So it's 27,792 there. But for a dependent or a spouse applying at the same time, then that amount has changed to 2,316 per year. So in total, let's say for a married couple, what are the financial resources that you are looking for both of these visas is 34,741 and 20 cents. So just short of 35,000 euros for that, okay, for a married couple. A family of four is just under 49,000, so 48,637 if you want the exact figures there.
Right, and that's the same for golden visas, or is that different?
Yeah, the golden visa is the same financial resources. This is for 1 year, even though if you apply for the golden visa here in Spain, even though that will be it's for 2 years, you only show 1 year's financial resource because, of course, you've got the investment in the property to supplement that.
Okay, and if I want to move to Spain, do I have to have that as a lump sum?
No, you don't have to have it as a lump sum. Obviously, you can't. The two distinctive ones for the non-lucrative visa, obviously, you can't show that you're going to be continuing to have a salary with the non-lucrative visa when you're in Spain. So, but you can use. You've got pension income that you can use to contribute towards that amount. So you can use a combination pension income, savings.
Could you use rental income?
Rental income's fine, but you need to show that you're going to have that amount guaranteed throughout those 12 months of your stay in Spain. And obviously it's got to be net of tax as well.
Okay, yeah, and dividends?
Dividends, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you can use dividends once again, as long as you can prove that you are not partaking in any kind of work activity in relation to the company where you're receiving the dividends from. And obviously it's net of tax. And again, you've got to prove that you're going to be having those dividends for the duration of your stay in Spain.
Okay, so that's changes to the amounts. Are there any other changes to the actual process?
Well, in terms of the process itself, what we've seen is throughout, well, during last 6 months of 2021, we saw quite a lot of changes coming through. We saw London consulate, huge bottleneck of backlog of appointments from June of last year, and they really from September, October, they've now got an online platform that you can access to actually book your appointment live. So really good appointment system there in London. We've also seen changes across the consulates about who's retaining passports and who's not retaining passports. For example, Manchester consulate always used to retain the passport. Now you've got a choice whether they retain it or whether you return. Then you've got Edinburgh, they retain your passport, you haven't got a choice, and London now retain your passport, so you haven't got a choice. I mean, okay, unless you can justify it, they want the passport return. But the turnaround times, the approval turnaround times are a lot quicker now for example, in the London consulate. So they really have improved the efficiency there, because I also think in the summer they had a backlog of student visas and passport renewals, so, and a lot of people applying for the non-lucrative visa. Ali, one of the biggest breakthroughs for the non-lucrative visa applications is that they now accept the UK issued S1 forms, which is great for anybody who is in receipt of a UK state pension. It means that they can contact the NHS overseas team, get a S1 form, and that is acceptable as private medical, the equivalent of private medical insurance, if you like, and they can use that instead to apply for the visa. And basically that S1 form, and when they get to Spain, they've got their residency, their TIE card, residency permit, they can register that S1 form, which means they can get access to the Spanish healthcare system.
Yeah. So for people thinking about making a move to Spain, have you got any top tips from them as they're starting out on the process?
Yeah, and one of the things I'd look at, first of all, is your timeline. Is your timeline, when do you want to move to Spain? When do you want your residency to start from? Okay, and then work back, because you've got to think about the documentation being within date when you actually attend the consulate. The timing of attending the consulate appointment, the timing of the visa being approved has all got to tie in with when you want to become resident in Spain, when you want to move in Spain. I know people have various other things going on, like they might be selling a property in the home country. So you've got to take all of that into consideration. So timing is really, really, really important. I would say your documentation, having the correct documentation with the correct wording in the correct order, is key to you getting visa approval. Those documents need to be, they just need to comply with the requirements so that you can sail through at your consulate appointment meeting. And really, that appointment should really just be a document checking exercise at the consulate. Okay, to go through your documents. If you've got everything in order, if all the paperwork complies, they should be just going through, checking the documents, taking your payment, and then saying the visa approval will be with you in 20 to 25 days.
Perfect. So it's just like a stamping operation if you've got everything ready. Yeah.
It's not an interview. People sometimes think it's an interview. It's not. They are checking these documents to make sure that they comply.
Okay, that's really helpful. Well, thank you, Melanie. And if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can send us an email, inquiries@legal services in Spain. Send it, that's the best way really. I mean, we've also got our Facebook page as well. People send us messages via our Facebook there, but I would send an initial email. We can send you some information. If you want to follow through with a chat about it, then we can arrange a good timing for that.
Perfect. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ali.